Hey guys, it's Pamela from the SheHH Podcast team, and welcome back to SheHH, where we interview women in Christian music all over the world. Welcome to series 3 of the podcast. Today we'll be speaking to UK singer, songwriter, dancer, and visual portrait artist Jessica Akin. She talked to us about her musical journey, her EP Colours, including her first ever single Blue, and her journey towards finding her style and genre. Make sure you follow us on Instagram and on TikTok at SheHH and share this episode with a friend.
Hey Jessica.
Hi Paula.
Welcome to the SheHH Podcast.
Thank you for inviting me.
We're so glad to have you, and I'm actually so excited to speak to you because sis is a poet. She's a singer. She's a songwriter. She's a dancer. I don't have enough fingers left. You do a lot. You do a lot. But how would you kind of introduce yourself to like people who don't know you and what you do?
So obviously I'm Jessica, like Paula said. I normally just say that I'm an artist through and through. So that, you know, it's through music, through actual art, like drawing, dancing. I just love creating, to be honest. I'm literally just a creative through and through.
I love that.
Yeah.
I've never heard that, you know, like an artist through and through. It's like, no, of the entirety of that
literally.
word.
But you know, I used to be scared to tell people, like, say that, because if one person knows that I'm singing, I can sing, I won't say I can dance. Because I don't know, everyone says that you can do everything, blah, blah, blah. I was like, okay, cool.
We'll go into that because you've definitely mentioned publicly like this whole thing of, we'll get into it. But first of all, I would just love to know a bit of your journey. So you're an artist through and through from Kent. Can you let us know about how you came to be where you are right now?
Yeah. So I think it was late 2018. So I went through like some heartache, and normally everyone says heartache produces good songs, and I mean listen, Adele, let's cool.
A whole album, several,
many, very good as well. So yeah, my heartache led to me wanting to like just write as like an outlet, I guess. It helps with healing, I guess, and it helped with healing. And I always wanted to write music when I was younger as well. So late 2018, wrote like a few love songs. And I wanted to release it so bad. I was like, no, I want to release this as my first project. I want to. But then I just felt God saying, nah, this is not the one. So I was like, okay, cool.
Wow.
And I did feel called to do music as well. So then 2019, I just felt, okay. I started writing Blue.
Yes.
In lockdown. So this is 2020 now. I started writing Blue. And I thought, okay, this is a good song. And then I thought, okay, how can I put this into a project? So I was like, okay, Blue's a colour. So let me see if I can work on the whole colours idea. But I don't want to force it. And obviously, you know, everyone was doing like the whole NHS rainbows stuff.
Oh, yeah.
So I kept seeing rainbows and like it just kept
the colours.
clicking. And I was like, okay, colours, this makes sense. And then that's when I released Blue in October, and on my birthday. Then released the EP last August. Yeah, which is exciting. And I just had the whole idea of when you walk into the light, which is Christ, and you walk with him in your life, you then live life in full colour, basically. Yes. So like every song relates to a colour, and it relates to something that you can take away from having God in your life.
That's good.
And just hold on to that promise. Like,
That's so good. That's so good. No, and what I love about your songs is they're very real, like they're real life experiences, and experiences with God, but without explicitly being like church music. I don't know how to explain it. Especially with the EP Colours, and even down to like it being really colourful and really like artistic. You can definitely tell that you're an artistic person.
Yeah.
But let's even start with Blue.
Yeah.
Which was the first single.
Yeah, it was.
How did that, like, what was the process of coming from, this is just stuff that I've written down, feelings, words, into creating music for it, getting it produced, shooting like cover art, releasing it? What was that process? Take us through like the most fun bits.
Cool. So obviously I wrote in lockdown.
Yes.
So I think I was just like to myself, when I'm feeling blue, and then I was like, oh, what rhymes? When I will rest in you. I was like, okay, cool, I like that. Where can I go with that? And that's how I then wrote about the whole song that tapped into feelings like from before, like when I struggled with like suicidal thoughts and stuff, and how God's like brought me through that. Cool. And I was like, okay, what do I want it to look like? But obviously, bearing in mind we're in lockdown. So as much as I had all these ideas, executing it, what can I do in my house? You know
Where can you go?
Honestly, so I had these ideas, what I want my cover art to look like, but I just couldn't do it. So I literally just got my cousin to like do, I just sent him like some examples of cover work that I wanted to look like with the whole silhouette thing, and he did that for me. That's not the idea I originally had, but anyway.
Okay, cool. It still worked though. It worked.
Thank you. And then EJMO, which is my producer, he helped. So obviously, when I started music and I wrote this like love song, I now performed it at like some open mic, and he helped me play guitar.
Oh wow!
And I knew that he produced as well, so I was like, it makes sense. Like you've helped me from time when I've been doing this music thing, so I wanted him to help me produce it as well. And obviously, like I gave him like the structure with like my guitar. I think I sent it to him.
Yeah, because you play guitar. Sorry, she's just glazed over the fact she also plays guitar.
A little bit, just a little bit.
Some people are talented.
Thank you. Yeah, so he fleshed it out. He added his own colours to it. Like it was, and he turned out to what is Blue, my debut single. But yeah, I just found it was quite, obviously my first song as well. So I didn't know how, singing in church is different to producing your own music. Yeah. So I didn't know what I expected, but it was a fun process. But at the same time, the anxiety.
Yeah.
My first song as well, because it's the music industry is such an opinion-based industry. And obviously we're doing this for God. We're not doing it for ourselves, obviously, but it's hard. It's so hard when people can just listen to it in China. When you're sleeping, they're listening to it in China. It's mad.
True.
Like, it's so mad. But yeah, it was fun. And I'm grateful to God for the experience and the gifts that I can use as well.
Yeah, and you just said like about, it's very different to singing in church and stuff. And like, I know because I was also like, we were part of the same like society group while we were at uni. And, you know, everyone was singing, everyone was like together and everything. It was very like, oh, family. But then to now be like, by the way, guys, I'm going to be producing music.
Yeah.
The anxiety, like I say, I applaud you because I think that's amazing.
Thank you.
But the anxiety is a lot. Like, how did you kind of get the like go ahead to be like, yeah, this is going to be something I'm actually releasing now because I'm not going to keep it to just me?
So obviously when I had like all those feelings of anxiety, I naturally wanted to be like, okay, I'm not releasing this, but I've gone through all that stress and I know I'm called to do it. So it's like, I have to do it one day. So if I'm going to do it, let me do it afraid. Do you know what I mean? Because I'll just be sitting there until I'm ready. I will never be ready. So yeah, I just, obviously my family, the ones that saw me anxious, my close friends, they saw me really anxious, but they were just encouraging me to keep going. I even, as soon as I released it, I wanted to delete it so bad. No, genuinely. But I feel like I've spoken to other artists and they're like, that's gonna be the thing until do you know what I mean, you retire or whatever. So
it shows that you care about it though, because if it was like, I'm just doing something on the whim, you wouldn't care like that.
Yeah.
Nah, that's amazing. And I remember when it came out and like everyone was like, have you guys heard this song? It was on replay. It was definitely on replay. I love that song. And I even wanted to ask, because while we were putting questions together, we just noticed that there was a theme of like mental health struggles and like how that kind of comes together with being a Christian.
Yeah.
And this is definitely a space and a conversation that is now being had, but for a long time, like no one talked about the fact that like we also deal with depression and experience anxiety. And you were really public and really like, I was going to say confident, but I don't know if that's the right word when talking about anxiety and stuff. But like you were really like honest about it in the music, but also just on socials in general.
Yeah.
And I would just love to know about the mind process that kind of happened to give you the confidence to actually speak out loud about it.
I think, in the Christian, I guess, area, what do you want to call it?
Bubble.
Christianity, people, it's such a taboo subject, but it's a very real subject. So I just feel like it needs to be spoken about. And especially like Christians need to speak about it. Do you know what I mean? Counselling, it's not an alien thing.
Therapy.
It's not just a non-Christian thing. You know, the whole debate on, do you need to get a Christian? Each to their own, but I think counselling, mental health, like these are topics that we need to speak about because it's healthy to get counselling. And also just because you get counselling doesn't mean like you're a weirdo. Do you know what I mean?
Broken.
You've got like loads of issues. Do you know what I mean? Like it's actually very healthy. Just as you go to the gym to work out. Do you know what I mean? You don't have to be big or slim or whatever your aim is to go to the gym. You just need to do it for your health. Do you know what I mean? Whatever your health goals are. So yeah, that's why. Yeah, I know you said confident. What's the word?
Yeah, because it feels right. Like, because it's almost something that does attack your confidence where you're like, shut down, keep quiet, stay inside. But once you come out, it feels very like this person is confident because they have opened their mouth and actually had the power to open their mouth and speak about it. So it kind of feels like the right word. Yeah,
it is. And I think in speaking about it, it actually helps to like be like, okay, this thing is a past thing. It doesn't have a hold on me anymore. Because there's actually power in the tongue. So just even being able to just say it to myself in my room, to then being able to like just talk about it on socials, to let other people see that this is normal, like it's okay. and you'll get through it as well.
And that's even just one song, because I know that Blue then was part of the EP, but that's even just one song. Now we go to the EP that's being made. What was the jump between I released one single and it's been received positively to I'm going to put a collection of songs together?
Yeah.
What was that jump?
So obviously, I wrote this in lockdown and I linked it to the whole colours. Yeah, I don't know. Obviously, I didn't want to force it before, but when it just made sense, I was like, no, I really want to emphasize each one of, as many of God's promises I can in each of these songs. Obviously, this was 5 songs. I really done Blue from one, so a lot more time and effort was put into it, but I really enjoyed it, the creative process, even just talking to Elijah and my cousin who did the cover artwork, like just speaking to them about my ideas and then being able to like turn it into something that they, add their own ideas as well. It was actually, it was fun, it was exciting. Yeah, it was actually hard as well. Obviously, the anxiety that comes with one song, 6 songs
multiplied.
Listen, it was mad, but yeah, God's got.
I like how smart you were with it though, because you said all about colours. Yeah. So I'm here thinking, okay, cool, every song's gonna be blue, purple, green, yellow. It was like we went blue, we had ultraviolet. Like you were really smart with how you kind of made that running theme, and I love that. Like, I love storytelling, and I love when it's done cleverly and creatively. And I think you really did that well.
Thank you so much.
What's one song? Okay, Blue. It's always gonna have a place in your heart. But what's one song in the EP that you proper love and why?
Oh,
it's like picking from your babies.
Honestly, it changes so much. Like, I feel like all of them have been my favorite ones, but right now, Roots. I really love Roots so much. I was gonna say Ultraviolet, but Roots, I love it a lot because that song I really experimented like with my whole hip hop, like rap style.
Me, I
didn't know I was a rapper.
Flow.
Apparently I rap. Flow, or whatever you want to call it. Yeah, that was a really fun song to create. Yeah, because I have now like started to love like cadence, flow, like lyricism, like mix of like a sweet melody. I just love it so much. So much. Obviously, Ultraviolet, I love to, but Roots right now is my favorite.
Right now, okay, right at this moment. One of our producers who actually made these questions and came up and did the research, she hadn't heard of you before.
Oh, really?
So I kind of just went, can you kind of look into this artist? We're going to be speaking to her at some point. And she came back to me, she was like, this artist is amazing. I think you might have seen, she tagged you and she was like, just recently discovered Chanel. She just recently discovered you and she loves Roots because she's a naturalista. And for anyone who doesn't know about Roots, it plays on a metaphor of like a black woman's natural hair and just at your natural hair day where you have to wash your hair. It's a long process for people that don't know.
Listen.
But the consistency and the care and the love for your hair is what helps it grow and it's a necessity. And you kind of related that to your spending time in your Bible, spending your time in the Word and with God being a thing where sometimes it's really long and you don't feel like it, but it's very necessary. Yeah. How did you come up with that metaphor?
Listen, okay, so obviously when I came out with colours and I didn't want to be too like, I wanted to be sly in the way I had the colours linked to each song. So I didn't want to be like you said, purple, red, green. Like
if you want to do that,
it's fine. Yeah,
it's
if
fine.
you've done that, it's cool. But I didn't want to do that. So yeah, obviously I had yellow, which is I related it to mustard, which is mustard seed and the whole. You need mustard seed faith and that's fine. Yeah, so I had Roots. So when it came to now writing, I'd have the titles first. So I had Roots. I was like,
you had the titles first?
Yeah, so I had the titles first.
Wow.
I just really didn't want it to be so like red, green, blah, blah.
Yeah.
So I was like, okay, Roots. So initially, because this song, I was writing it during the whole George Floyd. So obviously, my heart, I wanted to write Roots about, black culture and the whole the issue of racism. But I was like, okay, you're really stemming away from your whole meaning of your project. Okay, I know you're like passionate about this topic right now, but you can't. Do you know what I mean? You can't take away because that's gonna be so random. Right in the middle of my EP, so I was like, okay, let me just chill,
let me relax.
Yeah, and then I think one day I was literally oiling my cornrows. I was like, oh, Roots. This is another Roots. So that's how I came up with the whole. You need to take care of your hair. It might be hard, but you need to grow nice, afro. Same way you need to spend time with God. It might be hard, you might have times where you don't want to pray or read your Bible, but you need to in order to grow your relationship with God.
That link was,
Thank you.
Did you hear that?
I mean, it could have been a song about racism.
As well, and I think the cover art as well, where you have the beautiful.
Thank you.
So even that's a nice little segue.
Yeah.
You being a whole entire artist, like you actually draw. And even when I was like going through some of the stuff that you do, I saw that you recently opened your design and what would you call the style of art?
It's like is it portraiture? Is that a word?
Portraiture, yeah. It's like drawing
like people. So like those like shoulders.
Yeah.
Head.
And is it pencil that you use or
pencil?
pen?
Yeah. So right now it's pencil, so tonal drawings. But I do want to learn how to like do it in color. In GCSE art, I did do like paintings, but that one's a whole different. That's long, so I'll learn it one day. But yeah, right now it's just tonal.
You
drawings.
really are an artist. I was looking through these and I was like,
Thank you.
Like, and people get like stuff for like birthdays and stuff like that, which is absolutely stunning. Can you tell us about what it's like? Listen, I started this interview and listened to many, many things that this girl does.
Yeah.
What is it like being so multifaceted and why also, because you've talked about like people being like, oh sis, you do it all, you do everything, and how that's literally not a compliment.
It's not.
In fact, please let us know.
Obviously, when I was younger, I guess when everyone's younger, like you're trying to find out what you like and what you like to do. And then slowly I was like, oh, I like to draw. And I was like, okay, these are really tallying up now. But like, I used to be so like shy, or not really embarrassed, but like, I didn't like I said before, I didn't like people knowing. If someone knew I could sing, I wouldn't tell them I could dance or whatever, because I just felt like they'd be like, oh, you can do everything. And now put me on some pedestal, like I'm so great. But it's not, like I'm literally just using the gifts that God has given me, you know, to create more beauty. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
So it's not, I know people when they say it, it's like, oh, like, wow, but it's like, it's not really a compliment. I'm just doing me, do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I also don't want people to think, oh, just because they've got one gift, that it's not special, because that one gift equals my however many, do you know what I mean? So it's, in God's eyes, it carries the same weight.
That's good.
We just need to be confident to use it, regardless of what people say or what people may think. Yeah, but I am grateful for those gifts because I do really enjoy them.
Yeah.
A lot.
Because I feel like I first met you when we went RY as a dancer.
Wait, what did you see me doing?
I remember you dancing. Like you were in like first year and I was in like third year or something.
Yeah, was it like a conference?
It was like a conference.
Yeah,
and I remember like everyone was like, go Jessica, go Jessica. And you were like in the middle of like a circle or something. And I was like, this girl can dance.
So I wasn't even on stage. Where was that?
You were not on stage. You were actually, we were on a dance floor or something. I want to say this was like RY Ball or something.
Ooh, it might have
been or like a conference or something. Or something like that.
Maybe.
And we were all like dancing. Everyone was just like getting it. Everyone's having fun. And then we suddenly see a circle and Jessica's in the middle of the circle.
I'm so embarrassed.
And I remember being like, oh my God, this girl can dance. Like, this is so lit. And then I remember following your socials and then you were like, hi guys, Blue is coming out. And I said, huh?
That is so funny.
I was like, oh, maybe it was someone else. I saw, like, I just found it so amazing. And I think it's a blessing that you have so many skills, but not just that you have so many skills, because loads of people have loads of skills. But if you have so many skills and you actually use them all, that's amazing.
Thank you.
That's actually amazing. Not just in the sense of, oh, you were given so many talents. Because like you said, the parable of the talents, people are blessed with loads of talents, but you use them all. And I want to know how you even manage your time to do them all. Like, how do you give your heart and your passion to each of these gifts in an equal way?
It is actually hard. I can't lie. I don't think, I mean, right now I'm not using them all. Because I know there was a period when I just did dance. There was a period when I just sang in church or whatever. There was a period where I just did portraits. So this was like 2017 when I was just drawing stuff for clients and stuff. So recently, obviously, we entered the new year. So I've made my goals. I've made a plan, like a schedule, my daily routine. I mean, it's hard to stick to, but so obviously I'm opening up J Portraits again. I want to spend time drawing. I sing in church, so that's my singing. Also, I'm an artist, so I can sing anyway for where I'm producing music. Dancing, I'm not doing right now, but that one's hard because it's hard to do on your own. Like you need, do you know what I mean? It's better to do with people. But yeah, I think there was a period where in uni, so P-Lab, you know P-Lab?
Yeah.
P-Lab, obviously P-Lab knew that I could do this thing, but I was just like, I don't even know what time to spend on which ones, do you know what I mean? But obviously it's just about knowing what season you're in, when to use your gifts. Obviously, if like there's a production, I'll offer whatever gifts I can to that. But also just, I need to breathe as well. I need to rest before I burn out as well.
That's true.
Yeah, and also knowing that if in that season, it's maybe for me to not draw. Yeah. It's fine to not draw, but make sure I don't keep it buried and continue when I have the time and the energy as well.
So when we started this interview, I was really struggling to kind of explain the style of like music you produce because you kind of have made your own genre, and also each song is very different, very different in the EP, which is great. And I remember vaguely one time seeing a tweet from you, like maybe like last year or 2 years ago, where you said something like, being a Christian artist, sometimes you get put into a box of a type of genre you would produce, and you're starting to get comfortable with the fact that you won't fit that stereotype. Can you tell us a bit about the journey of actually deciding your style and your sound, essentially?
So I think this is an ongoing process. So when I started, obviously R&B, that's like naturally my favorite genre. So for Blue, I guess Blue's R&B. So that was very natural to produce. But obviously, so when I graduated in 2019, that summer I just had time to just create. So in that time I was creating and just posting random stuff on Instagram. Like I was doing different stuff. So that was quite easy to, like, when it came to colours, to like weave it into that. And just each song is different. You've got pop, you've got R&B, you've got hip hop. Yeah, and obviously it's an ongoing process. So I guess as I get different musical influences, I guess maybe my style will change. I don't know if that's a good thing. Like when
it's a good thing for sure.
So I mean, right now that's, I guess, pop, R&B, hip hop. They're like my genres. Yeah. But I don't know, it might change into something else. But also because like there's not really, I don't know, when I started music, there wasn't really anyone like me. So that's also one thing that didn't really encourage me to start, because I felt like I needed someone that I could look up to.
You didn't feel like, I'm unique, I'm here.
I did, but I was also like, okay, can I see how they're doing it? Do you know what I mean? But then my big bro, like Derek, he was telling me, why do you need, do you know what I mean? Why do you need somebody like you start it and continue in your lane, do you know what I mean? Yeah, so.
That's really encouraging, actually, because, and you're right, like I feel like a lot of artists, when you start, you're looking for kind of a blueprint to follow, a map or something that gives you the encouragement that this person did it like this, so I can succeed if I do that. But sometimes you just kind of need to find your own path, literally, and just make your mistakes, overcome them, keep going. And you're kind of like living proof of that being a reality and it working as well. So that's actually really encouraging. Who would you say are some of your musical influences that maybe influence your sound or even just that you enjoy listening to?
Tori Kelly. So do you know what? No, honestly, when I discovered her, what was I listening to? I forgot the song, but she's like, God made me sexy, I don't care if only I know. I was like, wow, I didn't even know it was a Christian song I was listening to. I was like, oh, she's Christian, like I love that. So she really inspired me to be like, I don't know if I'm a Christian artist or an artist. Do you know what I mean? Yeah. But I love writing God-inspired songs that anyone can listen to from the, you know what I mean, from the street, and be like, oh, this is inspiring, and like be like, oh, I want to give my life to Christ. So Tori Kelly, number one. Jonathan McReynolds.
Yes.
He's
okay, I see that. I see that for you. The whole guitar vibe. I see it. I see it.
Who else? Little Sims. In terms of like cadence flow.
Yes.
She's amazing.
Actually, now you say it.
You see
Roots.
It? Oh, yeah. Yes. Like, literally, she's, Who else? Her as well.
Oh, yeah.
So the whole R&B kind of soul vibe. But yeah, they're my main influences.
See, those four people you named, as soon as you said the name, I said, no, that makes sense.
Really, yeah?
And I love that, because it's not that I wouldn't have called them for you in terms of, you're copying their sound or you're copying what they do. But as soon as you said it, I'm like, that makes sense. Like, Tori is literally like vocals, guitar, very real lyrics. As a songwriter as well, phenomenal. And then like Jonathan McReynolds makes entire sense, because literally guitar, vocals that
even
don't make sense.
Like even No Grey, that song, like the way he wrote that song, it's not a normal like hallelujah. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's
Lift
true.
your hands up, but it's so deep. That song really inspired me as well.
That's so good. I love that. I love that the fact that you kind of say that these are people that you listen to, but they almost permeate from the music that you produce as well, in such a like encouraging way that in the future there's going to be someone who names you and their sound is going to be heavily influenced by you, and it's just a continuation of this where the inspiration and the blessing that God gives one person tallies onto someone else and they go onto someone else, and I'm very encouraged by that.
And I think that's why I'm so like, I love everyone using their gifts, because you don't know who you're inspiring, you know. You really don't. Obviously God's given that to you to like create beauty and to, I don't know, follow your calling. But I just feel like the people around you are important as well, and you could literally influence someone to become the artist or step into their calling as well.
I love that. No, that's amazing. And even just outside of people that have influenced you, have there been experiences that have influenced maybe your faith or maybe the way that you approach faith in your music? Because I think one thing you just mentioned that Tori does as well is everyone knows that Tori's a Christian.
Yeah.
But she doesn't necessarily make Christian music. She has loads of fans that are not Christian. And she does it really well. I think Tori is one of the artists that balances it very well.
I love it.
What is it that did you have any experiences that made you think, I'm going to be that type of artist that anyone can listen to my music, but it's obvious that I also love Jesus?
So I think literally when I was in the shower listening to that song I sang before, like, I was like, I think that's one thing that made me like, okay, I'm going to release music and this is the type of music that I'm going to release. Because I remember when I started releasing music, I was like, okay, God, what type do you want me to release? Do you know what I mean? I sing in church, so do you want me to write worship music?
Yeah.
So I was literally like, okay, God, what do you want me to release? So when I heard that song, I was like, this is it, like literally, because I feel like I feel like now I'm finding it easier to be vulnerable. And I think it's important for a Christian to be vulnerable about their experiences. So that other Christians that are going through things that they think, is this normal?
Is this normal? Is it just me?
They can be like, okay, no, it's actually normal. So that's how I see, okay, those things are intertwined. And in me being a Christian who's an artist, in my song, my music, I can help people to be like, okay, that's normal. And I'm okay doing, do you know what I mean? I'm okay feeling like this, but okay, how can I turn around and come back to Christ? Yeah, and I think that's also the type of music that I was kind of longing for when I was younger.
Yeah, we were looking for it.
Yeah, like not even just the music, just people that could be like real, like, okay, this is what I'm going through, but it's okay. But you need to, do you know what I mean? Switch it up and come back to Christ kind of thing. But yeah.
No, that's really good. I love that.
Thank you.
That's so sweet. I love it. No, I love that you're almost an answer to a prayer you had when you were younger and now you're living it.
Yeah.
One of my favorite things to do is to look back and just remember like teenage Paula or teenage Jessica and just be like, she was looking for something or looking for someone, and now I'm the answer to that prayer. And you're the answer to your, like, and there's teenagers or young people, even older people that are like, I really desire this type of music that glorifies God, but it's also just like talking about real life. And then they hear your music and it's like, wow, this is an answer to prayer. Like the fact that you're an answer to someone's prayer. It's amazing. Crazy. So that's really encouraging to hear. In terms of like even getting you on the podcast, like honestly, a privilege. We're really grateful to have you.
Thank you.
The moment that I said, I'm sending this email. Like literally, so we have a spreadsheet on SheHH where it's like loads of artists that we want to work with. And so Hannah, who's the content communications coordinator, and I will basically populate the spreadsheet and just kind of talk about recent releases they have or, you know, any cool things they're putting out, social media content. And then basically say like, do we want them on the podcast? When I added you to this podcast was because of one specific song. Okay. Let's get into it. So we recently had Uchenna on the podcast.
Yes.
Big fan, love her. She released an EP called The Art of Submission, which you are very aware of, you know. So good. You feature on a song called Without You. This song, I probably tag you and Uchenna maybe every 3 minutes because I love this song so much.
Thank you.
It's definitely it's my favorite song on the EP, surely. Really? But it's definitely one of my favorite songs that I heard 2021. There's a bit in the song where Uchenna's like singing, she's on her verse, she's on the chorus, and you enter the song. And the only way I can describe how Jessica enters this song is she glides in. Like, this is an audio song, but you're gliding. I know your feet aren't touching the ground. I promise you. You literally like, your vocals, and I think I tweeted like your tone, stunning. Your tone is beautiful. I don't think I've heard many people's tone like yours. Like, people have vocals, but you have tone. Like, it's like it's buttery. It's just buttery. That's all I can say.
Like croissants.
Listen, full fat croissant, you know? None of that lactose-free stuff. I'm lactose-free, so.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's tough. But like, you literally just entered the song and it was just beautiful. And I remember listening to it and just going, like literally I listened to it one time and I went, okay, cool. Well, both of them will be on the podcast. And I literally put you guys down. We drafted up the email. We sent it to you. And for me, it was, I listened to that song and I could actually hear two women who are speaking to God truthfully. there's no pretense. There's no like, we're going to pretend that we're like church girls who've never experienced life. Like it's very, very real.
Yeah.
And it's very much saying like, why would I even think I can do this without you?
Yeah.
I just want to know a bit about the process of you guys coming together to write this song and to put it out. And like, if it even has any kind of, you might be like, oh, that's just one song I did.
Yeah,
but like, I don't even remember.
Yeah.
But like, I would love to know if there was any like stories or anything that like influenced this song specifically.
So when Uchenna, she messaged me and was like, I want you to be on this song. Obviously, when I heard it, I was like, this is a vibe. I want to be on the song. But she was like, oh, it's called Without You. Obviously, I can hear in her what she'd already written, that this is a song about being with God in your life, like through everything, and not like cutting him out of your situations. And I was like to her, God, I'm going to be so real with you. Right now, I'm in a dry place. Like, I'm not really spending time with God. Like, for me to write a song called Without You, hey, I'm currently living without you. So, do you know what I mean? It's not going to make sense for me to be like, without you, I can't do nothing without. Because right now, I've been doing it. So I was like, girl, I'm so sorry. But I want to be on this song. Like, hopefully it doesn't like go past your like deadlines and stuff. But when I'm actually like back on track, then I can write from my heart. Do you know what I mean? And be like fully on this song. Obviously, when I was in that place, I was like, yeah, girl, I'm back. I'm ready. I can do this song. Yeah, so obviously I heard her bits first. And I was like, okay, do I follow her melody? Like, how do I? I was like, just be free and just flow. And yeah, I sent it to her. She's like, it's going to come out. I was like, okay, cool. And then it came out. But it's such a beautiful song. Uchenna's voice is amazing.
It's stunning.
So
and she's so good live. Oh my gosh.
Really? Wait, where have you seen her?
I saw her live at a Wonder Conference at Imprint. And I remember just being like blown away.
Yeah, and
like,
I can imagine. Because even her like studio recorded voice, like beautiful.
Yeah.
So beautiful.
For me, one thing I love about that is the collaboration, obviously, of women. And SheHH is all about like empowering women in music ministry. But collaboration is just dear to our heart. We love a good collab, you know, and you've collaborated with quite a few people. Could you maybe just talk about why collaboration is important to you and maybe some of your favorite, or maybe just name a few, because it's a bit awkward when you start like naming one and you don't name another. But maybe some of your favorite collaborations that you've had.
So I remember my first one. So this is when obviously the whole Heartache. I was gonna release this Love EP or whatever. So Dave creates. So David and Daniel, they wanted to do. It was Daniel's song. They wanted to do a song, like Christian love song, whatever. And I was thinking, oh, this is great. Like we can release this, then I can release my, it's great, love, everything, cool. So that's one of my faves. The vibe. I didn't think I'd ever like sing a love song like with a guy on it or guys on it, but that song it's a vibe. I can't lie.
Wait, what song is this?
Be Mine.
Oh yes, I remember Be Mine. I remember Be Mine.
So good. Even Daniel, he's good as well.
Yeah,
I don't know if he's going to
he's
continue
good.
music, but he's wavy.
Yeah, he's just dropped a few and then just disappeared. Like, how can you just drop Bando and then not come back?
Maybe
bring it back.
Later, I know, but that's one of my faves. But I think collaboration is important. It's something I'm yet to do like with my own songs, because right now on this EP it's got no collabs on it. I think also choosing the right people for each song. I don't know what the process is because I haven't done that yet. But yeah, it's also fun like working with other people, working with people that have got like a different style to you, and like how they go about their melodies or attack a song. Like, yeah, I think it's fun to do as well. It's not just you as well. It also like opens up your mind to see like, hey, this is not a me thing. I'm doing this for a kingdom, and the kingdom has loads of other people that are doing the same thing.
That's good.
Or trying to achieve the same goal. Yeah.
That's good. Yeah, especially when they are different like genre or style to you, or something completely left and people are surprised to see you on this track.
Yeah.
Like, I love that. And to be fair, we say this, but you could really go with anything, because
Thank you.
1 minute you're singing, next minute you're doing like acoustic guitar, next minute you're doing like a little rap or flow, as Sis was saying.
Flow.
But like, I would love to know, who is one like dream like artist that you would love to maybe make a song with? So not even necessarily just listen to their music, but you love their like style and love to collab with them.
So obviously Tori Kelly, like that one.
Yeah.
Montel Fish.
He
is so good. So good. Who else? I literally have a list on my phone of people that I want to collab with. Chance the Rapper.
Oh yeah, he's good.
Actually so like,
he's really good.
Yeah. I can't lie, hip hop, I feel like it's gonna be my favorite genre because I'm starting to love it. Justin Bieber as well, but only
recent Justin,
gospel Justin. Like,
I'm like, are we allowed to call him Christian Justin?
I
like,
don't know. But yeah, he is wavy as well.
He's good.
He's been good. Like,
yeah.
I think they're my main my main people. I mean, her, I don't know if she's written any Christian music.
Well, she featured on that song with Travis Green, so it could happen.
Her as well. Like,
yeah. I feel like a lot more secular artists are open to it now, literally. Which is even an interesting conversation because it's like, oh, how do we navigate that space?
I mean, I guess if they're doing it for God, like genuinely, then it's fine because we're all, I guess, even though they're doing it like, I guess, sporadically, I don't know, that we're all doing the same thing, trying to glorify God's name. So I guess they can continue. I don't know.
It's true. It's true though. It's true. Like especially because I think that as Christian artists or Christian people, the whole point is that we're trying to reach other people who aren't Christians to come and know Jesus and become Christians. So if you are producing music that non-Christians are like vibing to and being like, oh, let me go follow her and check out what she does. And your socials are very much like, hey, I love Jesus. Somebody comes to know Christ. That's a blessing.
It's very true.
That's really good. I appreciate that. And there's definitely a space for you that we're all really enjoying right now.
I love that. Thank you.
So we're at the beginning of 2022.
Yeah.
And you mentioned, like you like to use your gifts in seasons and you've kind of made a plan for this year.
Yeah.
So what is the plan for this year? What can you share for this year?
I mean, I'd love to do a show.
Okay.
This is not saying it's going to happen, but I'd love to do a show like...
Any type of specific show or...
So obviously like a headline show, but
Yes.
Maybe you better say headline. Other gifts in it, like in the show. What else? Obviously more music. But obviously music means money, so... I need money.
Sponsors, please. Thank you.
Thank you. More music, hopefully projects.
Okay.
I want to use my dancing more. It's something that I've had to build confidence with, like especially showing people. But I think I'm more confident in it now. So definitely want to use my dancing more. Obviously,
music videos and stuff like...
Music, obviously, that's a lot of money as well. So I feel like I need to... Once I've got the money, I need to juggle up whether I want to do so-and-so songs plus a project or cut down on the song so I can... Sorry, not project, a visual. So I can spend the money on the...
Something else,
But I'd love to do... I want to see visuals for colours.
I feel like it makes sense.
No, I wanted to do like a whole visual thing for the whole thing. Maybe in 5 years or like 10 years, like as an anniversary thing.
That's good.
Because
that one kind of, it seems like it lends to it because it's like colours. You can really.
Like I want to have my sister there. Red and then it'll be me. Like,
you have a whole vision.
Listen, I have a whole vision. I've written it down.
Write the vision, make it plain.
Listen. But they're the plans for this year. Might have other ones that pop up, but they're the plans I have right now.
Do you know what? Even before I forget this, we were talking just before we started recording about something that we share.
Oh, yeah.
And I really wanted to talk about it because I think that, and you mentioned money and stuff like that, there's loads of things that limit us as artists and creatives that we want to go out and explore and produce our best work and create our best creations, kind of like our creator, God. But there's so many things limiting us, time, money, space.
Yeah.
But this is one thing that I didn't realize was limiting me my whole life, and now I don't really see it as a limitation. I'd be interested to see your view on it. But we're both dyslexic.
We are.
Can you tell us about like how you found out about you being dyslexic and how it even impacts you now?
So from not even secondary, primary school, when they say, okay, class, read this like sheet for like 5 minutes and we'll continue. I'll still be on the first line and people were flipped over and then we're gone. Do you know what I mean? Even comprehension. That one.
Comprehension.
When I read, it's like I don't understand. I have to go back
and read it again,
and the time is gone.
I thought everyone did that.
No,
that's what.
Because I'll be seeing people flip over, put their pen down, and I'm like, what's going on? No, genuinely. And then in secondary school, same thing. Like especially English, lit, and language.
Yeah.
No, genuinely, I thought there was something wrong with me. I said to my parents, I think I'm dyslexic. They're like, oh no, maybe you just struggle with reading and like writing and stuff. I was like, okay. I even told my head of year, like maybe in year 11 or something, he was like, maybe just wait because you're in year 11 now. Maybe
what can you do?
Do you know what I mean? Wait until uni or something. So in uni now, I think in my end of my first year, I don't know who I even spoke to. Probably went to, I don't know who I spoke to, but they led me to a psychologist, basically, the educational psychologist. Obviously, you have to spend so much money.
It's a very long process. Wait, your uni didn't cover it?
Yeah, so no. So they were like, you have to, obviously your parents have to pay like, it was hundreds to get.
My uni covered it.
What's it called? Like
the tests and stuff.
Like
yeah, my uni covered it. That's why I'm very surprised that you...
Why not? Oh, maybe it's to do with the whole, how much your family income.
No.
Oh.
I mean, I do know that some unis don't cover it actually. But yeah, no, my uni covered it because that was part of the reason why I didn't want to get tested. I was like, this is hundreds of pounds just to dash.
So I had to go back to my parents and be like, okay, it's this £100, but genuinely I need help. Like, cause I'm in uni now. Like, I can't just be reading and not understanding what I'm doing. Especially psychology.
Yeah,
that's such
you study psychology.
subject. So obviously, second year I had my appointment. My dad agreed to pay. Had my appointment now. Did it, got my results back. And they're like, oh, you have moderate dyslexia. I was like, I knew it. You know, finally when I saw it, I was like, I knew it all this time. Like, obviously before when I didn't know what it was, I just saw it as a weakness. Like, oh, what's wrong with me? I can't read. Obviously because there was no explanation for what was going on. I was like, am I dumb?
I'm like, basically you're telling me I am foolish.
Honestly.
That's what you're telling me.
And then obviously from getting the results onwards, because I had like a concrete understanding of what it was that I had, I was like, okay, this is not a weakness anymore. Obviously, I used to write when I was younger, like just random songs. And obviously, when I found out this is my part of my calling, I was like, okay, dyslexic, writing music, are you okay? Do you know what I mean? But when I started it, I was like, you know what? This is not a weakness at all. If anything, this is a way I can show people of God's strength. Do you know what I mean? In my life, how He's using me. I'm dyslexic, but I'm writing music. And I mean, hopefully the music is good.
It's good. The words are making sense.
The words are making sense. Yeah.
That's why I was surprised to find out you were dyslexic. Because the metaphors you used in this song, I said, me and my dyslexic man.
Listen, honestly, and it's just, every time I think about it, like when I'm writing, I'm just like, I'm actually dyslexic, but God, you're using me in this area. Like,
that's good.
Yeah, it's amazing. Like,
and what have you kind of used? This is turning into like a coping mechanisms.
Cool.
But like, do you have any coping mechanisms for how you can still create and do what you do with dyslexia, especially words-based stuff? Like, that's tough.
So. Do you know, so when I got the results, and then later on, I think it was that year? No, it was the year after that I started like writing music. I didn't initially think, oh, I'm a dyslexic. I can't, do you know what I mean? I can't start writing. So I just started writing, and then when I'm in that creative process, I just don't think about the dyslexia, do you know what I mean? At all. And I don't know if that's because mine's more reading based, like when I read, finished. But when I write, maybe it's okay. But
that's good.
Yeah. That's literally, I think because I didn't really struggle when I'm in that creative space, I don't think about the struggle. It's only till afterwards I'm reading, I'm like, are you sure? Do you know what I mean? Are you sure you're dyslexic? But yeah.
No, I love that. That's an encouragement to anyone who is like feeling like this thing is counting me out from ever doing. Yeah. I went to study journalism. I was studying journalism when they were like, by the way, you have very essay based. Like you write stories. And I remember I'd be looking at the pen. The pen would be looking at me.
Honestly.
Who's gonna pick up who? Because it's really tough. But then, like you said, I think the way your brain, I mean, you will know more about this being a psychologist, but the way your brain kind of like works is you tend to be more creative and use those creative elements of yourself more than just the like reading and writing. Because your mind overcompensates that side. Yeah. So I definitely see it in your music. And that's why I was surprised. Like this was a very recent discovery for me. I was like, how? Sway, how? When
it's crazy.
Especially the link with all the colours and the whole EP, how you wrote Roots. I'll keep going back to Roots because Roots is lyrics. Like it's written well.
Thank you.
So now you're gonna tell me you struggle.
Yeah, I know.
Like,
it's so crazy.
It's crazy.
So crazy.
The Bible says that God uses the foolish things of the world to make them dumbfounded, and you are a living example of that. So thank you for even doing it well. We appreciate that. And even now, I'm just going on to the final question of the podcast. I don't even want to stop talking to you.
I know,
you're
it's
great.
Bad. Like, I was thinking, oh my gosh, podcast. But I'm actually doing it.
I told you you'll be fine.
Honestly.
Like, the conversation has been great. And you're a blessing. And I pray that even people will go on to follow you and just to check out and keep up with your journey because you've got a long way to go.
Thank you.
But we at SheHH, big fans of legacy and just what can we leave on this earth?
Yeah.
What can we kind of bless people with that will withstand our lives?
Yeah.
So I would love to know, have you ever kind of thought, I would love this to be my legacy? I would love this to be what people remember me by.
Yeah. So I think my love language is words of affirmation. So obviously, right? So, I love that. So when you like being loved in that way, you automatically like give it out. So I've noticed that I like to encourage people like with words. I guess that runs into music maybe. Yeah. But I love to encourage people. And obviously this whole gifts thing, how I'm just like, everyone should use their gifts, you know, whether you've got 1 or 2 or 10, just use it. I like to inspire people as well. So I guess those are 2 things that I'd love people to remember me by. And obviously like a girl that's, you know, that loves God. Remember God. That's why I'm just like, when my gifts do, it's not a compliment to say it, you know, because it's like, this is what God's given me, so look back up to God.
Look back to
I think
him.
someone said like the whole L-shaped thing, like it comes to me, but then the glory goes back to God.
That's good.
Listen, I love that thing so much. I just remember every time like I use my gifts and someone compliments me, I'm like, okay, thank you, but thank him as well. Do you know what I mean? So yeah, they're the main things that I guess I'd love to. I've never really thought about them before. But inspire, encourage, and God.
I love that. Inspire, encourage, and God.
Yeah.
The trio that can really work.
Yeah.
I'd love to see it. Thank you so much, Jessica, for being on the podcast.
Thank you so much.
We'll keep up with you music-wise on all music platforms.
Yeah,
and what's your socials as well?
Jessica Akin _
Amazing.
on all things, I think.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. It's been good.
Hi guys, I hope you enjoyed that episode. If you did, make sure to leave a like rating wherever you're listening to this and to follow us on Instagram at SheHH Podcast.